Here he is. Who's this?
It's Joe.
It's Joe Lowe, the wise old elf. How are you, pal?
I'm good, Tony. I'm just doing my last of what would have been my little winter jobs. So these have all had one coat. They're going to get another coat now.
Yeah.
It'll probably only take, what, 22 posts, maybe 3/4 of an hour. And that's the last job done.
Right.
So there we go. Not seen you for a bit.
I know. As I say, we've been missing the elf. That's my fault. That we've actually not had a chance to have a catch up proper, have we?
No, because
For a bit.
Everybody's it's been winter, it's been bad weather. We've all been around at different times, but now it's obviously spring's on its way. We're all getting ready for the start of a new year. So the plot's all prepped up, the beds are all ready, they've all been raked and cleaned. There's virtually no weeds knocking about. If you find a weed, I'm in trouble, but no.
I did some weeding yesterday as
I'm
well.
all prepped up, I'm all ready. So the only thing that I've started at the moment is onion sets and potatoes.
Right.
So I've got onions and potatoes, and I'll do this post and then we'll have a walk down there.
We'll have a look round, mate, yeah.
But
What you're using the Ron seal?
Yeah, it's a Ron seal, won't harm the plants. So these are all my fruit trees that I've got pleached. So I'm just doing the posts. And once this is had a second coat and dried again, it just makes everything last a little bit longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a bit of maintenance. Yeah,
This is the espalier, isn't it?
Yeah, my espaliers. So this is one of my apples. That's a plum there where you are. Yeah, but they're just about starting to show some tiny little buds now. So, but it's going to start getting warmer. Days are getting longer. It was daylight at what, 6:30 this morning?
Yeah. It was early doors, wasn't it? And I think it goes dark about 6ish at night now, doesn't it?
So we're getting longer days now. It's slowly getting warmer. Let's wander down to the greens.
We're just having a look in Joe's greenhouse now at the moment. See what's going on. It's all prep for the spring, for the new year, the new growing season, isn't it? At this time of year.
Yeah, well, I bought some more onion sets yesterday. So, all I've done is, I've got, these are stir-on onions in little cell trays of 12. Here's my potatoes, chitting now, so they're on the way.
Yep.
So all I'm going to grow this year is 2 types of potatoes. I'm just growing Winston, 1, 2, 3 trays, and then this one is Charlotte. So I'm only doing 2 varieties of potatoes. So that'll take up 4 beds.
Right.
Literally like 1, 2, 3, 4 beds of potatoes. Onions, yeah. And luckily at the moment we've still got a couple of dozen onions left from last year, because I grow that many, because we use an awful lot of onions. But I wasn't sure if they're all going to take. So what I did yesterday, I just picked up another bag of onion sets, a white and a red. I've sown a few little, I got some seeds from Gardeners World magazine.
Right.
Because I get the Gardeners World magazine once a month, and there was some white poppies and some I can't read my own writing. Anyway, white poppies and something else.
I can't see that, man.
These are just pieces of gutter. I took some strawberry cuttings last year.
Yep.
Put them in little pots, they'd all grown on. So I brought these in now, yeah? And because they're in here and they're going to get sheltered, yeah? There's no wind, there's no cold, there's no rain. I'll get an early crop of strawberries with these. So probably, May?
May, yeah.
Probably May. I'll have my first early crop of strawberries inside the greenhouse, as opposed to the ones that's outside that'll not be coming out till possibly June. So them's my strawberries.
What's them?
Them's French beans. So they were Joe's climbing French beans.
They're the magic elf
They're
beans.
the magic elf beans.
Aren't they?
So they were just put there, they've completely dried out. One or two have started to pot, but inside them, as you can see, they are this year's beans. Yeah, so they'll,
Yep.
but they won't get potted up now for another 2 months at least.
Right.
But them's my climbing French beans, and I've been growing, I can't tell you what the name is, I've been growing them that long, but they're just seeds that come from last year's and they're this year's seeds.
They always do well though, don't they, on here?
Yeah, the climbing my French beans always do well, so it's all ready for being just making a start in summer now.
Right. All getting the prep done.
So, man, that wheelbarrow behind me.
You were saying about tomatoes and stuff. You've got to be doing them at home, aren't you? You've got to
Yeah, I've been seeing Ken this morning.
Yeah.
Ordered some vermiculite and some perlite, which I'll take home.
And your mix is a strong mix of
my
vermiculite,
mix
isn't it?
is 75% vermiculite, the fine grit, but only 25% compost. So it's like 3 to 1,
Yeah.
but it's a very, very open, gritty compost. But when you're growing things like, I'll do tomatoes, peppers, chilies this week now, but the young seeds don't need a load of food. They need a little bit of warmth, a little bit of light and a little bit of water just to get them to germinate. So I'll make up a mix, 75% vermiculite, 25% multi-purpose, seeds on top, bit more vermiculite on top of the seeds, and then just gently then pat it down. And those little trays I'll put in a bath of water so the water soaks up, because I don't like pouring the water on top because you can disturb the seeds.
Some mist sprays, some do the.
Well,
I do from listening to you really a combination of the two.
well, yeah.
Really.
Now, once I've sown the seeds, then once they've germinated and popped through,
Yeah.
the roots then have got all that open, gritty compost to get the roots growing. Good plants need good roots. Now, once you've got the good roots, then you've more or less cracked it. And because you've put that little bit of vermiculite on top, once the plants come through, them little tiny seedlings, because the vermiculite is already around them,
Yeah.
it's going to stop them getting damp at ground level, because after a while sometimes they'll all fall over because they get damp at the base.
Yeah.
So
Stem based damp off like.
and it just,
Are you doing them in trays?
I'll start them off.
Or are you doing them in the?
Well, I have some at home. They're just
Yes.
half trays like that. Are you with me? If that was half a tray, it would be 75% vermiculite, like I said, 25% multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose.
I would put this in a bath of water so the water soaks up, and because there's vermiculite on the top, when that little seed starts to come through, its base is dry, and then it doesn't get damp at ground level and fall over. But because it is virtually grit, them little tiny seedlings, all they want is to get the roots down, but they can get the roots down and they'll open up and spread and grow stronger.
Yeah. Because it's a looser mix, you're going to get that.
It's a lot more open, a lot more porous. If you were to sow in just multi-purpose compost, sounds good. But then as that multi-purpose compost, if you like, starts to dry out, it goes tight and it tightens up round the roots. And if you leave it too long and you've not watered them, and it's going dry, the roots can't really get established. But if it's a big open with lots and lots of grit in, then the roots can grow.
You can spread their wings on the ground.
Good roots are good plants.
I'm going to have a go at that then. And that's the mix, is it? 75%?
Well, Joe, 75-25. 75% grit.
To
Little bit
25%.
of multi-purpose compost. Yeah. So once they're growing, then they don't need loads of food. The babies, you've just got to get them to germinate, but then to get that root growing. Then after 3 weeks, then once you can get 2, or you see 2-3 pairs of leaves, then you can move them on again then to the next stage. And then you can either put them in individual cell trays like these, yeah, again with a good open mix to get them to grow on.
Right.
And then what will be my next move from there will be straight in the ground in the greenhouse, which is ready now. I say it's ready, it's just empty, yeah. And then they'll be going in the greenhouses.
And then we'll show that stage on the next.
Yeah, because the next stage then, when I plant them in the greenhouse,
Yeah.
they'll be going in the bottomless pots, which is the pot with no bottom in. So, a pot with no bottom in. Yeah.
A bottomless pot.
A bottomless
Exhibit
pot, and then later on, all I'll do, once I've got them as individual plants, the bottomless pot will go in there,
Yeah.
and the tomato plant will go in here. So then, the roots then have to go down, yeah?
Yeah.
And then at the side, I'll get the empty milk bottle, put the empty milk bottle here, yeah, and then I'll water into the empty milk bottle. The moisture will be down there, and you're making the roots go down.
So yeah, it's like it's basically a root trainer, that really, isn't it, to send them below ground level, and then they can absorb. Do you feed as well through the water bottles?
Not at first. Not at first. Make the roots grow. We'll show you later on. But I've got empty milk bottles in there. Just grab one while you're there.
Here we are.
Again, it's not rocket science. It's a milk bottle with literally a couple of holes punched in, and you've cut the bottom off.
And the base off.
So when the tomatoes, the peppers, the chilies are being planted out, that'll go in the ground. You with me?
Yep.
That's where your plant's going, in there. And by pouring your water in here, it goes lower than the level of the pot, the bottomless pot.
So the roots are taking in the moisture,
So
aren't they?
that's where the moisture is. So the plant knows, it can sense it. Yeah, it's got those little fine hair roots that we've grown on and got established. So we've got a root growth to get the plant's roots going down there. But for the first couple of weeks, I won't feed them at all. Let it get established, let it grow.
Let it hunt out the nutrient.
Make those roots work. Yeah. Well, that's it, Tony. Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely do a catch up on that
We'll do a catch up
later on.
But there's not much going on at the moment. It's just.
Oh, it's all right. That's a bloody good pearl of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Right.
So the beds are all done. They've all been
All prepped.
all prepped. There's manure, there's feed in there, and then as I'm going along, then and I start to plant, I'll supplementary feed whatever the plant is. So later on, cabbage, collie, broccoli, they'll all be going in.
Right, fantastic. Well, I think that'll do them for this episode.
Well, it's the start, Tony. Yeah, there's not much going on, but it's the start now. You know,
The start of the season.
it's,
Right.
it's the 1st of March on Tuesday.
It
So
is.
Start growing at home, get all my young seeds going, get them established, then get them up here. You know, then grow them on till they're ready for planting.
Is it a heated greenhouse you've got at home, or is it just? It's just close to the
My
house.
greenhouse at home is an 8x6, but because the guy who lives behind me has lay land eye, yeah, it doesn't get any sun till late on in the afternoon, because we're here now, we're autumn, the sun's out, it's already warm in there. So once I get them germinated, everything, tomatoes, peppers, chilies, cucumbers, whatever I'm growing, I'll bring them all up here and put them in the greenhouse here, because it's warm from early morning, as opposed to if they was at home in my greenhouse, it's too cold. It's just like a cold trap. It doesn't get enough sun till late in the afternoon, which for young stuff is no good.
Yeah.
But we all start off little trays or whatever, you put your packet of seeds on, and if you only get 20 seeds to germinate, once you've picked those out and you move them on, you need a load more space.
Yeah.
So Marge puts up with the back window edges having all the trays on.
So they're in the house, are they? Where you started them?
First,
yeah.
They'll be in the house at first, on the back bedroom windowsills, because that gets the sun all day long. But once I have to pick them out, you then need oceans of space, because what is three trays of say 20 becomes 60 plants. And once you've picked the 60 plants out, you need an awful lot of space.
You're going to be putting them into their own individual pots, aren't
you? Their own pots, their own trays. But then I haven't got the space then.
Yeah.
But I'll start them off and germinate them at home, transfer them, and then I get them
and then they'll come
and let them grow on for a couple of, 4 or 5 weeks till they're ready then and the soil's warmed up. Because if we put anything in the ground now, as much as it's bright and warm, that is relatively cold ground.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't put your feet in cold water, would you?
No.
So anybody who plants anything at the moment, into the ground, you're doing yourself no favours, because those roots and that plant is going in cold ground.
Yeah.
I know it's slightly warmer in a raised bed than open ground, but it's still too early.
Yes. Very good.
So that's it. I'm just going to plod on now, do a bit more.
Get your painting and I'll have distracted you enough. We'll have a brew.
Go and have a brew and a fag in a bit, but I want to get those done now.
Yes.
So
we'll come back in half an hour.
That's it today.
Thanks very much, Joe. God bless you.
Catch you later.
See you in a bit, my friend. Bye-bye.
Cough, cough.